Okay, I wasn't very sure about what this video was going to be about, but Facebook showed me my father-in-law today. It made me a bit sad. It made me, I miss him. He died 2 years ago. When I first met my father-in-law, because as I say, my husband is a bit older than I am. I mean, he doesn't look it, and we don't act in that way, but he is a bit older than I am, 17 years. So his dad, unfortunately, I met my husband 3 or 4 weeks after his mom died, so I never got to meet her, unfortunately. And I came into their lives at the time when they had lost a strong woman. I came into their lives when there was a gap. So my husband has 2 older brothers. We won't talk about them. But his dad, in the end, was more my friend than my father-in-law. He was more like I used to think of him as one of my best friends. And he had a big influence on my decision to go ahead and marry Simon, because I thought, you know, Simon has grown up watching this man, so there's hope. But I have to say, it didn't always start that way. You see, I'm a strong black woman. I don't deny that fact. I have no apologies about that whatsoever. Where we live is not a very diverse part of England. I say that all the time because every day I'm faced with it. I mean, it's 2018. I walk down the street and people still stare at me. I know it's not because I look funny or anything. It's just they're not used to seeing people who look like me. And when you have big hair like this, and I'm 5'10", when I'm quite tall, and I wear high heels. So yeah. So to come into their lives at a point where they had just lost, that's my husband and his dad, they had just lost the matriarch of the family. She's quite a strong lady from everything I've heard about her. I think my father-in-law wasn't very sure at first, because I'm black and he's white. He was all about the empire and how proud he was of the empire. In his ignorance, bless him, he used a lot of inappropriate words when he was talking to me, you know. And he did say to me, I mean, not in a malicious way, just wasn't aware that you can't go there, you know. I never got offended. And he did say to me, he said, you know, EJ, I would be honest with you, and I am what some people might actually refer to as a racist. So, you know, it's nothing against you. And I said, you know, I completely understand. And it's not that you're a racist. It's just that you don't know any better. You don't understand. So I will gladly teach you. So our relationship started off a bit unsure because he wasn't sure of how to talk to me, and he wasn't sure of what to do with me, basically. And at the same time, I was very because he had in his mind a certain way how women should be, how women should behave, you know, how people should behave, decorum and all that. And I can be quite loud, and I can be quite I can have a good time. So yeah, so I had to sort of, you know, sit up straight and speak only when spoken to at first. And then as time went on, when he saw that I was okay, you know, I didn't have any hang-ups and he could talk to me freely, and I told him he could ask me any questions he wanted to ask me. Boy, did he take advantage of it. I loved him so much because he had such a curious mind, and because he knew that I was a safe place to ask, he asked. He even went as far as asking one time, he asked me, like, underneath my skin. So like if I have a wound or something, so is the flesh pink like it is for them? You know, questions as you know, as far as that. And he wanted to know about what class? What class are you? Would you be classed as upper middle class? Are you working class? You know, and all that. And oh, your education. Oh, so you did go to university. Wow. What? Yeah, those guys, you know, he knew me. In the end, he knew me a lot better than my husband knows me, actually. Because he wanted to understand me. And then, as I say, I had no agenda. I wasn't marrying his son for anything. The reputation that Nigerians had, or from his point of view, reputation black people had, completely not true when he met me. Okay, and he did say to me quite a lot of times, "You are a very good ambassador for your race." So, why am I talking about my father-in-law? As I say, Facebook reminded me today. Oh, he was a good man, you know. He was a very good man. I miss him. I'm sure I'll talk about him more. I will. He was my friend. He was like my best friend, really. We talked about everything. We got up to no good together. We used to drink these Irish coffees every Sunday. We would choose a new pub or restaurant to go to. We both teased my husband. He protected me. I think that's the big one, really. See, one time I was getting lots of headaches. I still get them sometimes, but it was, you know, actually a bit too much. So went to see the doctors, and the doctor looked a bit concerned, you know. So I got referred, you know, cut the long story short, I got referred for a brain scan. Now, I was convinced that there was something in my head. The headaches were just unbearable. And at that point, I said I wasn't going to be anybody's burden. And if it did come out that something was wrong with me, or had some kind of tumor or whatever, I was going to break the relationship up with Simon. We were not married yet. Because I didn't want anybody to be my carer. Because of my past, I think I've developed this fierce independence. And I wasn't going to be anybody's burden. So if there was something wrong with me, then the relationship was going to end. And I said that to Sai because I thought, you know, I didn't want to put him through that. Simon wasn't happy, obviously, and he told his dad. And his dad told me to sit down. Oh, I think that's the first time. And he said to me, "Listen, EJ, if there's something wrong with you, we will look after you," he said. He said, "Your family is not here, and you call me dad." I mean, months before then, I'd asked him if I could call him dad, and I think that took him by surprise. And I think it made him happy as well, because it used to make him smile, like when we were in public, because he was so color conscious. He was so conscious of my race and so conscious of his race. So would be in public, and I was like, "Hey, Dad," you know, and that used to really excite him. And his friends asked a lot of questions as well. Anyway, he said, "Your family is not here, and I consider myself to be your father here in the UK. And if there's anything wrong with you, I won't let you run away, and I'll look after you." Do you know, that speech he gave me that day, that sort of, I think, in my head, that changed who he was to me. And then, when trouble came calling, with some family members, one of Simon's brothers wasn't very keen for Simon to marry a black woman. Now, this is somebody who actually does not like us, does not like his brother, does not like me, and he used to whisper a lot of things into Dad's ears. And my father-in-law would tell me. And he said to me, listen, you need to come to terms with them. Because I used to get really upset. And you think, well, this man doesn't know me. I've been nothing but sweet to him and his family. You know, I've been nice, you know. And so it used to really hurt me when I'd go visit my father-in-law and he would say things, you know, what this person has been saying, or, you know, I'm not to be trusted and stuff like that. And I used to say, you know, why would he just, why is he against me? Why? I just didn't get it. And my father-in-law said to me, listen, you need to come to terms with the fact that not everybody likes black people. I said, okay, you know, that's fair enough. That's fine. But this guy's meant to be family. You know, if I've done something wrong to hurt him, I can't help being black. I love being black. And then he said to me, he sees Simon marrying you as a form of rebellion. I just did not know what to make of that. Marrying me, it wasn't because he loved me, it wasn't because of any other, no, it was because Simon was being rebellious by bringing a black woman into their family. Unfortunately for him, it's a black woman who called his father Dad. So that's by the by. I'm sorry I went into that, but this is just about my father-in-law. And he wasn't perfect. He was wonderful though. He was my very good friend. And when he died, I mean, it's been 2 years, I still feel the loss. It's such a big loss, you know. Zara was just over a year old when he died. He never got to meet Xanthi. I remember telling him we were pregnant, and yeah, he was like, no, you're not. He was so surprised. But he loved Zara. I wish he was here now. I wish he could see us now. I wish he could see us now. He'd be so proud. He would be so proud. I'm sure I'll talk about him again. The video is too long anyway, and I need to go pick my kids up from nursery. And if my neighbors walk around, they might be wondering what the crazy lady's doing in the car talking to herself. Again, I'm not going to edit. I'm not going to try and polish anything. This is me as I am. Have a nice day.